Hey y'all and welcome. My name is Meg and another month, another book haul. I'm going to show you today everything I got in the month of May. I'm trying to cut down on my book buying, especially I think the video probably coming out before this or at some point before this will be a library bookshelf reshuffle where I take a really hard look at my physical TBR, what's there, even the books that I've read, and just sort of what I want to keep in my collection, what I want to let go of, and how that affects the books that I bring into the library in the future. So with that being said, this is a smaller haul. It might be my last YouTube haul for a little while as I try to work through my physical TBR. I know I have some pre-orders coming in June. I've canceled a couple of pre-orders that when I really looked at them, I felt like did not really serve me. And yeah, so I don't want to rehash all of that because like I said, I think that video is coming before this haul comes, so you'll probably be sick of hearing about it by then. But I just wanted to say that that reflection impacted certainly the book buying that I did in May and will continue on probably throughout the rest of the year. I don't know. I mean, I've said it a million times, I'm never going to stop buying books, but I do hope to be a little more intentional about it. That being said, my first book is Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. This was totally random. I think I got this about mid-month in Target when I was with my mom, and it just looked cute, and I hadn't really heard of it. I hadn't heard anything about it. I read the back. It is about a woman who, I guess every time she meets a guy, she receives a little slip of paper telling her his name, his number, and how long they're going to be together. Is it going to be 5 days? Is it going to be 7 months? I don't know. It's odd. So then she meets this one guy and she receives the slip of paper, but there's no time on it. So I don't know. I don't know. It sounded cute. It looked cute. And just totally random. Next up is Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. I read Give Me Butterflies by Jillian, I think at the beginning of April, and I absolutely adored it. So I went looking for anything else by her. I found this. It is very much set at Christmas time. I don't care. I'm going to try and read it this summer, or outside of Christmas time at least. I really am going to try and get to it this summer. I really like her writing. So anyhow, this, our female main character is coming home for Christmas. She wants to keep it a surprise, but I think she's just lost her job also. So there's a lot of chaos going on. And then I believe it's her brother's friend who kind of disappeared for a few years. He's also back in town. And I think maybe there's something there. So I don't know. I really, really, really cannot state how much I enjoy Jillian, and I will just read whatever she puts out. There's going to be another book in the Give Me Butterflies series. I can't remember what it's called. It's the sisters. And but I think that's coming in 2026. So hopefully this will hold me over. Next is Welcome to the Hainam Dong Bookshop. It's a Korean translation. It's been on my list for a really long time, but also just reading the back of it, getting that synopsis, this feels very much like Days at the Murasaki Bookshop to me. You have a woman who is sort of living life by the status quo, good job, good man, and then everything sort of falls apart. She runs off to find herself and starts a bookstore. Now, we also, I think she moves a significant distance, at least outside of where she had been. And so she is interacting with all of these new to her people and types of people. So I think this is going to be very slice of life, very much challenging your preconceived notions about life and how things are supposed to go. And I think a lot of people as young adults probably realize this, no matter what you do, if you go to school, you get married, you do all the stuff you're supposed to, that doesn't really mean anything. Life is gonna life, okay? So I think there's gonna be a lot of that and a lot of reflection on what the characters want out of their life, what they want their life to look like, not just what they think it's supposed to. At least that's kind of what I get from this, so I'm really excited for that one. Those are the 3 books that I got kind of throughout the month, and I really didn't buy anything until maybe mid-month. And then right at the end of May, I went on an adventure. My mom and I went to a mushroom farm. That video might also be up by now. I really don't know. I have a schedule, kind of. Anyhow, we went up to Blue Ridge, Georgia, and then Ellijay. The mushroom farm is in Ellijay. Sorry about the noise. But they open at 11, so we tried to make like a little bit of a trip to Blue Ridge. Boy, did it not disappoint. It was so great. We started out with breakfast at Mountain Mama, which is like a coffee shop, but they also do like avocado toast, small bites for breakfast sandwiches, delicious chai. It was just great. Like, I love the whole vibe in there. Hopefully you'll have seen a little bit of that. And then we walked to this bookstore I found, and that bookstore is Copper Fox Books. It's really cute. I'm gonna take this stuff out of the bag and show you what I bought there. I did have some sort of loose rules for this trip because I did at that point know that I wanted to cut back heavily on book buying. However, I knew I was gonna be in at least 2 independent bookstores, and so my sort of rule of thumb was that I could buy 1 book in each place. And I stuck to that in Copper Fox. In Copper Fox, I decided to pick up Ready or Not by Kara Bastone. This is another rom-com. This may be like a romance-heavy month. Anyhow, this is about a young woman who moves from the Midwest to Brooklyn. She is living with her very best friend in an apartment, and unexpectedly, after a one-night stand, she finds herself with child. She's obviously decided to keep it, like that kind of centers the book. So she's going to have the child. The child's father is like supportive, but maybe like not really all there. He's kind of conflicted and like in his feelings. So whatever. Turns out her relationship with her best friend is feeling a little bit strained, but her older brother, to be clear, it's her friend's older brother, kind of steps in to like, I don't know, help out, send her lunches, like, ooh, he's always there being supportive. And I think probably they fall in love and it's a great time. But over the course of her pregnancy, I think our main character is going to struggle a lot. Her name is Eve. Yeah. Eve is going to struggle with which course to take in her life, who to choose. Maybe she doesn't choose anybody. Maybe she just goes it on her own and does whatever she wants. I don't really know, but it's so stinking cute. It's so like springy and pretty, and I wanted it. Also, they had these gorgeous little notebooks, very little baby notebooks. This one is a baby one, and these are owls. We both thought these were so gorgeous, and just like couldn't resist them. I love a notebook. And then, you know, sometimes you're in like a really cute little store and you see something like this and you're like, oh my God, that's so precious. I want it. And then you turn it over and it's like $8 for like, you know, like this. This was $2.50. I almost bought every one. No, I could have been tempted to, but like, look at the back too. They're just so precious. Like these little owls and the gold foil, $2.50. I always have a notebook in my purse. I always have a notebook. I always have like 5 notebooks on my desk for this, that, and the other. So I got that little teeny tiny one. And then there were also these bigger ones. And these are like thread bound. I don't know. You probably can't see it. It's probably not going to focus, but they are like stitched or whatever. The binding, y'all know about my mushroom fixation right now. So are you surprised? Probably not. They're just so, so pretty. And again, this one was $4 for this size. And I did get one more of that size because I couldn't resist. So there's also this one, very pretty floral. I do love a floral. I just thought, like, what a great price. What a beautiful, they're very pretty and unique. They, besides this sort of, stitch, is that what it's called? These stitch notebooks. They also had traditional hardback binding, and I believe there were a couple that were spiral and they had tabs, so they were divided. But yeah, I think the most expensive one we saw was $12, and that might have been the spiral bound with the tabs. You can't beat that. Y'all know I'm a paper person. Paper everything. I love paper. I did get one of their cards because they didn't have bookmarks, and I just wanted, can you see? God, it's cute, isn't it? I love a fox. Fun fact. And then the girl gave each of us one of these, which is their, oh, my fingers are covering it. How sweet is that? This was a really cute little place. They also had a Mountain Mama coffee, like, not kiosk, I don't want to say that because it was a beautiful bar. And I don't know, it just felt really special. You know, sometimes you walk into a bookstore and the vibe is not, it's not it. I love a bookstore. You guys know I love a bookstore. I love an independent bookstore. But like sometimes it feels almost like slapdash and very like cold. This bookstore was the cutest, sweetest, coziest bookstore. They also, I found this out later, they have a loft area. It's for co-working, and now I kind of wish I lived in or near Blue Ridge and I could go there a couple days a week and like work from there. I don't know, it was so cute. It was just, it's hard to express the coziness of it, but it just felt good going in there. That's what I always say, like, it just feels good in here. And that's how it was. So while we were out there, we did do a little walking around of the Blue Ridge Main Street. We had been before on kind of a girls trip type thing a couple years ago and knew that there were a few shops that we really liked. And one of our favorite shops on that stretch is called Blue Ridge Cotton Company, I believe. They have a lot of t-shirts, cutesy stuff like that, like baby stuff, homewares, and, you know, t-shirts, clothes. They also have stickers, and these are some of my favorite stickers. They're the Good Southerner ones. I don't know if I've showed one on here before, but I have a buttload of them. And this one just says, "Your crazy is showing." I swear every one I picked up was a phrase that I use on the daily, and it was very troubling. But yeah, just really cute. As we were kind of making our way back to the car off of Main Street, there was another little shop that was opening, and I don't believe we'd ever been to it before, but it was called Virginia's Market. And my mom had noticed while we were walking by that there were some books inside, and she's like, "Hey, I see books in there. Do you want to stop in?" And I'm like, "I don't know this place. Like, this was not on the itinerary." And I was just like, "I don't think they're open. Like, we can just go. It's not, you know, I don't have to stop everywhere there's a book." However, they were just opening at 11 a.m. So while we were standing there, she was actually bringing out her easel sign for the store. And I don't know, I just said, "Do you want to go in?" Like, okay, let's go in. The owner was so friendly. I don't know if her name is Virginia. We did not get her name, but I swear we chatted to her for like half an hour. My mom, I think, wants to be best friends with her. She was very sweet. And as we were talking about our plans for the day and like going to the mushroom farm in LJ, she at some point is like, "Oh, you should come check out my book corner." And I thought, yes, of course, I will come check out your book corner. It was a whole room. It was so cute. I will put some footage here of it that was probably in the vlog if the vlog made it up before this. That there's a lot of assumption going on with that. Yeah. In there, I just want to show you, I got these. They are Wiener Dog bag clips. There are 3 of them. It was about like $7. And you know, I can't pass up anything with dachshunds. And I feel like you always need a bag clip and you don't have any. So that's my justification. Do you like it? Did it work? Also in there, I got a little sticker that she had in her book room, and it says, "At least my trauma made me funny." So that was cute. And I did allow myself one book. I got The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I have read this. I absolutely loved it. This honestly inspired me that I think I want to make a cozy fantasy video about the different types of cozy fantasy. I think that the ones I've read at least, fall into very distinct categories of this type, which is like, feels Legends and Lattes to me, feels very montage, a stranger comes to town, what's going to happen, how does that impact everyone, and how does everyone then interact with this person, etc. And then there's also hold on. And there's also like this kind of fantasy, which I just recently read, The Teller of Small Fortunes, which is very let's go on an adventure style cozy fantasy, but still very cozy, still very sweet, still very low stakes, and fun. So anyway, this book kind of inspired that because I enjoyed it that much. And I know I have her next book, The Enchanted Greenhouse, is on my most anticipated 2025 list. I cannot wait for that to come out. I did apply for an ALC and I was denied. However, I'll just read it when it comes out. It's fine. This is such a cute story about Keela, who is a librarian at the Great Library, and there is like an uprising going on, and she sort of realizes at the last minute, holy crap, we have to get out of here. Everything's on fire. She packs up some books. She packs up her sentient spider plant, Kaz, and gets on a boat and goes to an island. It is her home island. And her parents had a house there. They never sold it. So that's where she finds herself. She also has a neighbor called Laren, and he's real cute. And he is a mer horse herder. That's really hard to say. Okay, so he is a mer horse herder. And I don't know, it's just really cute and sweet and lighthearted. There is a little bit of struggle, a little bit of like, ooh, moments, but it all ends up okay. It's so sweet. And as soon as I saw like Kaz in here, because of the research I had done about the Enchanted Greenhouse, I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get Kaz's origination story, his tale, and learn more about his creator, Turla, who is mentioned like a few times offhandedly. We don't get a lot of details about her, but she is mentioned and what happens to her is mentioned. So anyway, oh God, I just loved it so much. I love a callback like that with something to look forward to. It was so cute. If you like a cozy fantasy, if you like some magical creatures, some sassy plants, some, I don't know, sweet romance, very cute, very sweet. Laren was, I don't know, pretty adorable. Check it out. I loved it, and now I'm happy to have it on my shelf. Another thing, I didn't really get anything that wasn't food at the mushroom farm except for this. There's a little Ella J mushroom sticker. It's very cute. I love it. Then another stop I wanted to make, it wasn't 100% sure if we were going to go there, but I was hopeful, is Hemlock Bazaar in little downtown LJ, which was very close to the mushroom farm. And again, I was going to get one book, but oops, I got two. So what are you going to do? I'm hopeless. Okay, I got Convenience Store Woman, which has been on my list for a very long time. This is also a translation. I don't know what's going on. It's weird fiction. That's all I know about it. It's kind of weird, odd fiction. I cannot wait to read it. It's very slim and tiny. It's just so... They also had, what is the other one? Earthling. And Earthling is like a new I want. This has been an I want for a very long time. And I was like, I had to rein myself in. It was very cute in here too. It was like part of a coffee shop, but I don't know. It was really cool. I enjoyed it very much. And this is the first book I got in there. Tangent over. The second book I got was The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. I believe this is actually children's fiction. And I don't know. I've said it a million times. That does not bother me. But it sounded really interesting. It's about a robot who finds herself on this island. And an island not built for robots, like a forest, kind of. And how she survives. This is part of a 3-book series, I believe. And I have a feeling I'm going to like it. I kind of got the picture that this was a children's book when I saw the font. That was kind of my first hint. And then as I looked into it more, it became pretty obvious. There's not really like art, but there is, if that makes sense. So I don't know. This is a book about Roz. Like I said, she is a robot and finds herself on this wild island. It sounds so stinking cute. I know I'll get through it quickly. The only problem is I'll probably want all of the rest of them now after this. You're not going to believe it, but we're at the final stop. On Memorial Day, I needed to take a book back to Barnes & Noble. And in doing so, I did poke the head in and just kind of look around. Now, so while I was in there, I did kind of know what I wanted. And it's because I'm a filthy, filthy copycat. My friend Michelle bought this on Independent Bookstore Day, and so I also bought it. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, I don't know. It's Martha Wells. We both enjoy the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. I've read all of those. I don't know if Michelle has. Michelle, where are you at? If you haven't, like, come on, girl. Yeah, The Witch King. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. It says from the Breakout SFF. Science fiction and fantasy? Is that what it is? Superstar author of Murderbot comes a remarkable story of power and friendship, of trust and betrayal. Ooh, the dogs are fighting. Don't do that. It's very rude. Don't fight. Okay, so I really don't know what this is about. I do think it's more fantasy than science fiction, like the other books by her that I've read. And I will say, I think I've read the back a few times. I still don't really know what's going on, but there is a quote that says, "I didn't know you were a demon." And then next person, "You idiot, I'm the demon." I don't know. So I think we're going to have some sass, basically, is where I'm trying to go with this. And if you've read Murderbot, you know Murderbot is king of sass. And I don't know, I just like a sassy banter. I think maybe we'll get some of that here. This is the first in a series. I think it's the only one out right now. And there might be another one coming out in 2025. I really don't know. I need to look into it more. But like I said, Michelle bought it, so I bought it. And last, while I was in Barnes & Noble, I know, it's more paper, but it's a very cute notebook. This is one that I will keep in my purse for sure. I love that it has like the band. Also, hold on. Okay, I'm back. This is the Kukoyo brand, and the type of notebook is Sufa. I think they also make a planner, agenda, whatever you want to call it. And it is soft rings. That's like kind of the thing about it. The rings are soft. So if you're writing, you don't have those pesky like metal rings, you know, hitting your wrist. It is grid. Can you see it? Oh my God, I love it. The paper is really nice. It has a back pocket. And then also, what I thought was really cool is that it has this little notch here, if you notice. A little notch in the corner. And dun dun dun, it's to hold your pen, which, I don't know, it's the details for me, you guys. It's just the little details. So it holds your little pen. My pen actually matches. Yay. So yeah, I had been wanting something a little sturdier that I could keep in my purse. And while this is like a soft cover, it is firm. And I like that it has a band, closure to keep it closed, and the pages won't get all crinkled. I've noticed that no matter which way I put a notebook or my planner in my purse, it inevitably ends up like this with like the pages crushed in. And that's a bummer. Nobody wants that. So yeah, I got this. I know it's another notebook, but I really do use them a lot, and I use them up. I will feel no shame for my notebook game. All right, that's it. That's everything I got in the month of May. Bear with me, I'm gonna count the books. This is 8 books. I think last month it was over 20. So this might still be a buttload of books to some people. For me, this is improvement. This is growth by like fewer books. Growth by, what does Michael Scott say? Like subtraction by addition or something like that. All right, I'm losing it. That's the video. If you watched it all, cool. If you've read any of these, let me know if you liked them or if you think maybe I'll like them. If there's any you recommend, don't tell me until I get through my physical TBR. I'm just kidding. Tell me if you think there's a book that I might like or one that's coming up this year that maybe I haven't heard of. Let me know. I'm gonna add it to a list. I'm gonna be in that library, guys. I'm gonna be living in the library life probably for any sort of new releases. Maybe I'll do like a library haul next month. Who knows? I'll do a Libby tour. You can see all the books I have in my Libby account. Anyway, I'm losing it. I am gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.